Okay, today we're going to do something a little bit different. Okay? We're not going to read a book. We're going to read a poem. A poem. All right? And this poem is a little bit special because I wrote it. I wrote the poem. But I wrote it when I was a kid. I was 13 when I wrote the poem. I was 13 years old, really young. Okay? And this is the poem. It's called A River Lies Calmly. A River Lies Calmly. Okay? It's about a squirrel. The poem is about a squirrel, but it's not really about a squirrel. It's actually a metaphor. It's a metaphor for something else. Okay? So, here is the poem. It says, a river lies calmly inside of a valley. What's a valley? This is a valley with mountains. Okay? A valley between mountains. Inside of a mountains, concealed by two mountains, as bright as the sun. Okay, what does concealed mean? Concealed means hidden. Okay, concealed, hidden behind two mountains. Okay, a river lies calmly inside of a valley, concealed by two mountains, as bright as the sun. Here's the sun, very bright. Okay, where there is a squirrel gazing into the water in deep contemplation with no thought to run. Okay, so first, what does gazing mean? Gazing is looking, but looking very carefully, looking very strongly. It's looking, but really looking. Okay, gazing, okay? Okay, so this is a poem, so it rhymes, okay? It rhymes. Look, sun, run. That's a rhyme. Sun, run. Concealed by two mountains as bright as the sun, where there is a squirrel gazing into the water in deep contemplation with no thought to run. See, it rhymes. It has a rhythm to it. Rhythm. Because it's a poem, okay? Why would a creature so lovely as he stare at his reflection, and what did he see? Okay? Why would a creature so lovely as he... What's lovely? Lovely means nice. It's beautiful. It's friendly. It's likable. It's a creature, an animal that people like. It's lovely. People love it. Okay? Why would a creature so lovely as he stare and gaze? Let's see. Stare is similar to gaze, okay? Gazing, staring, okay? Why would a creature so lovely as he stare at his reflection? And what did he see? Okay? What did he see? Even from looking without ever ceasing. Ceasing is a fancy way of saying stopping, okay? To cease and to stop is the same thing, okay? Even from looking without ever ceasing or stopping, right? He still didn't see what he wanted to see. Oh. So in the water, in his reflection, he still didn't see what he wanted to see. Huh. Do you sometimes look in a mirror and see something that you don't want to see? Sometimes I do. Sometimes. Okay. Even from trying without ever stopping, he still couldn't be who he wanted to be. So this is interesting. The mirror shows who you are. Maybe. And sometimes when people want to be different, They don't want to be who they are. Sometimes they don't like to look in a mirror. Sometimes. Yeah, interesting. He couldn't be who he wanted to be. The squirrel wanted to be different. The squirrel wanted to be a different person or animal, okay? The one on the outside, or rather the lack, was really the one he saw staring back. Okay, so the outside was what the squirrel saw, or rather the lack. What does lack mean? Lack means it's not there. A lack of, for example, if you have a lack of respect, that means you don't show respect. If you have a lack of patience, you don't have patience. Okay? The lack of, so the squirrel felt like he didn't have maybe a personality. Yeah, on the outside. He didn't have a personality, or maybe he didn't like the way that he looked. He didn't like the way that he looked. Okay? That was what he saw staring back. So, when you look into a mirror, you see someone staring back. But do you see the inside or the outside? You see the outside, right? When you look into a mirror, you only see the outside. And the squirrel didn't like the outside. That's sad. Okay. The more that he strained. The strained means tried really hard. It tried really hard, strained. Tried. He tried really hard. He tried a lot. The more that he strained, the more that he tried, the more that he hid what was really inside. So he hid what was inside. He hid. He didn't want to show what was inside. He hid, okay? The more that he strained, the more that he tried, the more that he hid what was really inside. For no one would like the real him that he hid. They would only like him if he changed what he did. Okay, interesting. So the squirrel thinks, what does he think? He thinks that the real him, the real squirrel on the inside, he thinks that people don't like it. He thinks that he has to hide it because his real personality, his real being, his real self, he thinks that it's not interesting or not fun or not likable. Interesting. Have you felt like that before? I have, sometimes. Okay. Even though he knew what he knew, he just couldn't do what his mind told him to. I like that. Even though he knew what he knew, he just couldn't do what his mind told him to. What did his mind tell him to do? What did his mind tell him to do? Let's see. Hiding behind the wall of his fear was a harmonious sound that no one could hear. Wow. So, is there a wall? Not a real wall. It's a metaphor. It's pretend. It's in his imagination. There's a wall. Okay? This is a wall. Wall, right? Hiding behind the wall of his fear, okay, was a harmonious sound. What does harmonious mean? Harmonious means it sounds really good. It's a really nice sound. A harmonious sound that no one could hear. Is it a real sound? No, it's not real. It's a metaphor. It's a metaphor. It's talking about his personality. His personality is really beautiful, harmonious. It's beautiful. But no one could hear it or no one could see it. Why? Because of his fear, the wall of his fear. The squirrel was scared, okay? But could it be heard by more than just he? It says that this is wrong, but when you write a poem, it's okay. Sometimes poems are different, okay? Could it be heard by more than just he or more than just him? Could more people hear the sound or like his personality? Maybe they'd like it if he'd just let them see. So if the squirrel could show his real personality, maybe other people would like it. Do you think they would like it? Maybe. Maybe. It's hard to show, it's hard to open up sometimes. To open up and show your real self, your real personality. It's not easy, but maybe they'd like it. If he wasn't so scared and he wasn't so shy, the squirrel could be a super cool guy. That's funny. I was 13 years old, okay? So shy. What is shy? Shy is when you're really small. You're really shy, you're scared. You don't like to talk to people. I'm shy. Maybe if you're shy, you talk really quietly. You don't talk loud, you're shy. Shy, okay? You're not like outgoing, extroverted. No, shy, okay? If he wasn't shy, the squirrel could be a really cool guy. A cool guy, all right? He looked back down into the river so blue. The river's blue. He looked back down. And it was then, only then, that he suddenly knew. He knew. What did he know? Being quiet and shy would get him no friends. It would only discover a lot of dead ends. What's a dead end? Okay? Dead end is when you're driving on the road, and then the road ends. The road doesn't keep going, it ends. Okay? It's a dead end. You can't keep going. It's just a dead end. Okay? You got to turn around because it's a dead end. Okay? Being quiet and shy would only bring dead ends. No friends, just dead ends. Okay? Interesting. And even though the squirrel was small, his reflection was not all that bad after all. Oh, so his reflection was kind of nice. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad, right? Sometimes we think that we look bad. We think that our reflection we think that on the outside we're not very good looking. But a lot of the time, usually, we look better than we think. You look better than you think. Yeah. His reflection was not all that bad after all. His reflection wasn't bad. It was good. And with the glad knowledge that he would not be alone, he left the calm river and went back to his home. Okay. So the squirrel, he felt good. And he would not be alone. Why? Because he wanted to show his real self, his real personality. He wanted to open up and make more friends. Make more friends. That's cool. Interesting. And he went back to his home. He was glad. the glad knowledge. What is glad? Glad means happy. When you're glad, you're happy. Glad, okay? So, is this poem about a squirrel? Is this poem really about a squirrel? Well, when I was 13, I wrote this poem about myself. I was very shy when I was 13. When I was a kid, I was very shy. And I didn't talk to very many people. So I wrote this poem to talk about the way that I felt inside. Are you shy sometimes? Or maybe you're extroverted. Maybe you're not shy at all. But if you are shy, or if you think about your reflection, and if you think that you don't like your reflection, maybe you should think about how the squirrel discovered how to not be shy, how to show his real self. Sometimes we just need a little bit of confidence. A little bit of confidence, a little bit of energy, and we can go and we can make friends, we can help people, and we can feel happy again. So, yeah, what did you think about this poem? I hope you liked it. Leave a comment to tell me what you thought. And I'll see you next week. Bye.